Hello, everybody. Welcome to this personal HR expert interview. Today with me is Sarah Cooks from WeDo HR Support, a consultancy based in the UK. Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me, Isabel. I'm really excited to be here.
WeDo HR Support is a consultancy that specializes in supporting small and medium businesses with HR services. Can you let us know a bit more about what you're doing?
Yes, certainly. So we specialise in HR support for the small to medium-sized business market. The reason why we do that is because I'm really passionate about great HR going into business and about the change that great HR can make. And I spent a career as an HR director or chief people officer for slightly larger organisations, but again, with that sort of entrepreneurial, fast-paced kind of spirit that you do find in small to medium-sized businesses. And I really want to help the even smaller businesses to have that sort of great HR that really changes the course of an organisation and helps an organisation to grow and succeed. So we tend to work with all different size organisations, and we can be your complete and entire outsourced HR department. We do everything, or we can just do some of the key bits of HR and work with a smaller HR department to help them.
So you have the insights into all the HR trends.
We try to.
And one that's particularly interesting at the moment is that we see that more and more companies, they reverse their hiring freeze and they are looking for top talent again. So what would you say, why is it so important for also small and medium-sized companies to look out for top talent and also retain the top talent?
Yeah, I think it's really important. And the thing is, if you employ 20 people and you lose one person, that's 5% of your workforce gone. Yeah, it's not quite so bad if you employ 500 people because it's only 0.2% of your workforce. But when you're a small to medium-sized business, losing that one person has an impact on the rest of the team, and it means they've got to pick up someone else's work. And it also means that you want to be really careful about finding the replacement. You want to make sure that it's exactly the right person. So you might take a little bit longer over that recruitment process. And then because everyone else is picking up the extra work for a little bit longer, it could mean that you lose someone else as well. And then it's a big spiral and it can get a bit frantic. And if you can know that that's coming up on the, on the horizon, then you can start to look for new talent earlier, and you can start to have someone in mind to replace that person. You can look across your existing people and see, okay, well, have we got anyone here already who might be able to take on that job? And you can start a bit of a handover process. So I think it's really important that you're thinking about how you're engaging your people, who's next in line. If you've got a succession plan in place, then you can start to be saying, okay, well, we need to speed up the training of Fred because he's got to take over from Ginger when she leaves.
How has the last 1.5 years, how has the crisis impacted the trend or also the danger of the resignation?
Yeah, so this great resignation that everybody's talking about. And I think it's interesting because I think what we've all done is reevaluate what we want, not just out of work, but out of life. So if your existing company won't facilitate the change that you want in your working pattern, there are plenty of companies out there that will. And I think it's these employers of choice who are attracting the top talent, people who are prepared to say, look, we can see you've got the skills, we can see you've got the engagement, you're what we want for our organisation. How do you want to work? I've been saying for years that the job of an HR department is to create an environment where everyone feels safe and empowered to bring their authentic self to work every day. And that's what this great resignation is. That's what it's a symptom of. It's a symptom of people looking at, do I feel safe and empowered to bring my real self to work every day? And if I don't, well, shall I just move to somewhere where I will? And I think what some organisations are latching onto is that the individuals who've taken time out to think about what they really want out of their career, what they really want out of their home life, are the sort of engaged and solution-focused people that you really want to have in your organisation, because they don't just kind of like ride the wave of what's happening. They're really putting some creative thought behind what's the most important thing to me. How do I prioritize that?
And what would you say, what's your advice if companies want to attract these kind of people or retain these kind of employees?
So I think the main thing to do is to get to know your people and their motivations, and get to know people personally. And one of the things that we see a lot in small organizations is that somebody comes along for an interview and you sell your organization really well, and they walk out of the interview and they think, oh, I really want to work for those people. They seem like they've got a great culture. They seem like really great people. This is the place for me. And then they say yes to the offer. You send them out your handbook and your contracts. And then they look at this stuff they've had through the post and they go, are these the same people that interviewed me? They don't necessarily look like the same people on paper. So a lot of what we do with our clients is we talk to them about what's your culture like, what's the organization like, and have a fresh look at these pieces of paper. Is this reflecting what you're really like as an organization? Because quite often our contracts and our handbooks are a little bit more like, well, you're not allowed to do this and you're not allowed to do that. So I think, if you can reshape your paperwork to sound like the experience people are going to get on a face-to-face basis, then that's a much better way of doing things.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us today. And thanks everybody for listening. Check out personio.com for further information, and see you soon.